Yep, you did read that right. I'm making a video about Wednesday surviving. Great. Make sure you sub because loads of you that watch aren't. Let's just do it. Let's just get it out of the way and get in there. Now, this circus all started with Darren Moore leaving before a ball had even been kicked. He got 97 points in League One and promoted at Wembley through the biggest robbery in football history. But obviously, Wednesday fans are fickle as fuck and they wanted him out through parts of that season anyway. But when he did leave, Chansiri, Wednesday's owner, came out and said that Moore wanted a contract 4 times bigger than his current one, which I know for a fact that ain't true. The way I was told that this went down is that Moore were told by Chansiri that they were expected to challenge for top 6 straight away with that horrific squad and not a lot of backing as well, which not even God himself could have done. But then Moore walked. And think about it realistically, if Moore's thought process was, I'm going to try and get loads of money, his next job wouldn't have been Port Vale, would it? After Moore walked, Chansiri's obviously a clown, so he thought, wow, who can get me promoted from this league instantly? And then thought Xisco were a good idea, because obviously he's been promoted from this league before at Watford. Now, Xisco has been sacked at basically every club he's ever managed, and that carried on here. I mean, look at his win percentage. 0% wins. And this is a true representation of where Wednesday should have finished. If it weren't for a manager, right, who I'm about to talk about later in this video coming up, we were looking at one of the worst championship teams ever. They've got one of the worst squads ever, I stand by that. 10 games in, no wins, 8 losses. 5 goals scored in those 10 games. Squad's crap, manager's crap, club's crap. They deserve to go down. And they should have done if it weren't for pulling some magic manager out their arsehole. So Xisco joined and then Xisco was sacked. Really good effort though, I respected him. And then they bring in Danny Rohl. And yeah, this is his first managerial job. But he's almost overqualified for the position that he had, even before. Even though it is his first managerial job, he's overqualified with the position that Wednesday were in when he come in. He might have never been a first-team manager before, but he's got serious experience under some very good managers. He went number 2 to Hasenhüttl at Leipzig and Southampton. Then he went number 2 to Hansi Flick at Bayern Munich and Germany. He also got a background as an analyst. That's how he started out at Leipzig. So he's putting the work in and doing jobs that managers don't do. He's analysing games as his first job, then getting work experience under one of the best managers currently in the world. You create a monster. And this sometimes don't work because from my own experiences, I've seen us have a manager that were number 2 to Jose Mourinho. And that, I'm not even going to talk about that. But that brand of football's dying. Football now is all data-driven. And you've got an analyst slash coach who were number 2 to one of the best managers in the world. And like Windass said on pitch side,
he's another level, honestly. He'll go on.
He's going right to the very top. He's Danny Röhl. Since he's come in, they've won 8th most points in Championship, which has taken him from worst start in Championship history to surviving at last day. And it is literally just down to him and absolutely nothing else that they've stayed up. The pressing eye, they've got an eye line. He's not fake. He knows his players are crap and he's just utilising them to the best that he can. Get up pitch quickly. Loads and loads of bodies in middle to get shots off. They're not good enough to slowly build out from back like you'd see a Southampton team do. So it's just working with what he's got, which is loads of shit. Now, my worst fear is that he stays next season and gets backed. Because if you're looking at this squad and what he's managed to achieve points-wise, imagine what he could do with a team of players that have got legs. Because these are crap. I'm just going to say it again. This team is shit and he's done well with. They've got about 4 players that are good enough, and that's still a push. You've got Windass, Will Volks is alright, Ugbo's okay, and Wurzel Gummidge, I'm going to give him his flowers. Right, fine. You know what? I'll give him it. In every other Wednesday team I have seen, Barry Bannon is shit, and I stand by that. Wholeheartedly, he's shit. Technically, he's brilliant. But in previous Wednesday teams, it's been the Barry Bannon show and everything must go through him and the hindrance to rest at team. Simple 15-yard pass to the side to a block in space. No. He must go for a 50-yard wonder ball like Bruno. Whereas under this gaffer, he's not been as obsessed with himself and he's actually been quite good. Don't get me wrong, he's still ugly and he's on about 60 grand a week, so you should be expecting these level of performances, but he has actually been good under this bloke. But rest at team is crap, and I stand by that. If he gets backed and he stays, that is where I'd worry. Because if he can keep these idiots up, what can he not do? But thankfully, Chansiri is the owner, which people seem to forget. They've got 16 players out of contract, 7 of them are loans, and I thought Sheffield United had a big rebuild, but this is daft. Now, obviously, Bannon's going to sign one because nobody else is daft enough to pay money that is on there. Some of these lads will stop, blokes that have been here achieving absolutely nothing since they were born, like Palmer. So it's keeping a couple of old boys on big wages, which is very Wednesday. I think a lot of these will end up going. I mean, see what happens with retailing this like, but Chansiri is not going to put loads and loads of money into transfer kitty, which is going to be needed to level this squad out, with or without Rohl. I remember, this is the same bloke who would demand it fans pay 2 million quid because he don't like you. This is the bloke that owns you. Like, financially, for promotion year last season, you had a 16 million quid wage bill, which is just ridiculous. Constantly losing money. The losses that have been stacked up in the last decade have been ridiculous. This is with Sale at Stadium as well. Like 140 million quid down as of last year. It'll be more now, obviously, this season because, like, yeah, even though you're in a higher league and you get more money, all wage increases for getting promotion, all your promotion bonuses, the thickest wage-wise Wednesday, so they're going to have spunked it all away regardless, and they'll be in even more debt. And Danny Rohl is not going to stay. There's just no way, unless there's promises and assurances that he's going to have a big stack of money to spend in transfer window, which obviously Chansiri is not going to give him. Then there's no way he stays. He's not going to want to ruin his reputation by finishing in bottom 6 again next season with Wednesday, regardless of like the players that you've got currently. They're not good enough to have like amount of serious push, which he's going to want to do. Any half-ambitious championship team, or if somebody gets sacked in Premier League and he can go somewhere like that because of seeing what he can do getting sides out of relegation battle, he's not going to stay at Wednesday and ruin his reputation for something like this. And Chansiri is a horrific owner. Shockingly bad. He's got 150 million quid in all. He owns your ground. He's not going to put loads of money in when he's already losing 2 million quid a month like he keeps saying. And I don't see where this ends for Wednesday because even if there's someone who's this rich that's a Wednesday fan, no one is going to look at this club and do it. No one. Because you're going to have to pay Chansiri out of all of his debts. You're going to have to pay for the stadium on top of that. Then you're going to have to pay for the actual value of the club, which Chansiri is an absolute nutcase. So he's going to say it's worth 100 million quid on top of that. To then take on all the continuous debts that you have at Wednesday, which is continuously losing 2 million quid a month. So although it's an half-decent escape this season, it's no special note to write home about. Everybody's done one. I'm going to bring these pigs back down to earth right now. 2 seasons in a row, you've absolutely scammed it. And Chansiri won't give Rohl the budget that he wants. So Rohl's going to walk, knowing he can get a job probably in German top flight or a decent championship or bottom Premier League team. Partner that with a humongous rebuild that's needed, all money that you're continuously losing. 24th next season. And I'll say it now so that you can just keep this and bookmark it if you want so they can't go back on it. If they keep Rohl and he gets bagged, I think they'll get top 6. 8th highest point seller since he's come in with a crap squad. The proof is there. So if he gets a lot of money and he stays, it's seriously on. However, remember the facts. Chansiri is your owner. He's not going to get backed. He's not going to stay. And bringing a manager in of this quality was so obviously a fluke. They're not going to be able to snag somebody like this again. And any other manager they'd be able to persuade to come into this shit show would have them bottom like Xisco did. Shocking club, fickle fan base, not had a sniff at top flight in a quarter of a century. And it's me getting loads of floppy twos to crying kids at Wembley. Dickheads. But congrats on your escape. Enjoy it while it lasts, which won't be long. Danny Rohl is a serious manager. One will be seeing a lot of at a much higher level than that of Sheffield Wednesday, which ain't hard. But at least you've got your Steel City derby next season, even though you don't play in Sheffield or live in Sheffield, but whatever. Pretending it's biggest derby in history to ever exist. How can you ever actually hate a team that much? You know when you pretend to live in the same city as someone, and your cousin supports this team. Your auntie and uncle, your cousin, your step dog all support this team that you apparently hate more than life. Get a grip. Worst team in Sheffield by a mile. Half your fan base weren't even born when you were last in top flight. All deluded. All ugly. Average BMI score of 60 rolling down Halifax Road to games. You're shit and you're going down next year. You wankers.